Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and get started now, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us on the call today. My name is Lee Doubleday. I work for the Imagine America Foundation, and I just wanted to mention before we begin that if any point during this presentation you would like to ask a question, you may do so by selecting the Q&A button. It's either on the bar on the top of your screen or at the bottom of the screen, depending on how you join the call. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn things over now to Mr. Robert Martin, the President and CEO of the Imagine America Foundation, to kick us off.
Good afternoon and welcome. I want to first thank everyone for taking time out of their busy schedules, and I'm sure that between Dr. Coyle and myself, we're the only thing standing between some of the people on this call and their ability to leave and go home. So thank you very much for giving us a few minutes of your time. We're very excited about today's program and want to welcome each and every one of you to today's webinar, which is going to showcase automotive careers and specifically the educational programs offered by Universal Technical Institute. For some of you, you may know Universal Technical Institute, or UTI as most people know. Some of you may not. And so we're excited to be able to give you the opportunity to introduce you to it and also ask some questions. Imagine America itself has been providing scholarship aid to enrolling high school seniors since 1999. At the foundation, we're committed to showcasing trade and career opportunities awaiting current high school students. We believe that today's program will serve as a useful resource in building bridges to the education community that will help prospective students to better understand the myriad of options that they have in the decision-making process. In recognizing your time, I'm just going to refer you to our website for any detailed questions. That's www.imagine-america.org, or you can call myself or Lee Doubleday directly from the telephone numbers that are listed. Automotive technology careers are some of the most popular programs in career schools. Have been since I've been here, and I've been here since 1999. Currently, our country faces a very serious shortage in certified automotive technicians. We hear from employers in virtually all sectors of the country desperately looking for qualified people to fill existing job openings. On a local level, using Bureau of Labor Statistic data, we estimate that new technician positions in your particular area of the country are going to increase. These are new positions by 6% over the next 10 years. That's literally approaching thousands of jobs. And that does not include any look at the loss that will occur from the graying of our society and people getting older and simply leaving auto technical positions, which conservatively we estimate at another 8% over that same period. So it's a growing thing. It's a very real problem, but more importantly, we think it's a very real opportunity. For our part, the Imagine America Foundation is currently assisting more than 5,000 current career college students to pursue careers in automotive technology. But we need to do more, and we want to do more. Our partner in today's presentation, Universal Technical Institute. UTI is one of the premier education providers in the United States with campuses located throughout the United States. In fact, for those of you on the phone, those educators on the phone, UTI is now opening up a brand new campus to better serve the growing number of students in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, New York areas. Joining me today to discuss in detail the looming auto technician shortage and how UTI is trying its best to help meet that need is Dr. Stephen Coyle. Dr. Coyle is a nationally recognized expert in this area with extensive experience in the K-12 market, both as an educator and as an administrator. Before turning the program over to Dr. Coyle, let me outline very, very quickly today's agenda. We promise you this will be 30 minutes maximum with questions and answers. Once we've finished these remarks, I'm going to go directly in the presentation. All presenters will submit all questions relative to this presentation by looking at the chat feature in the Zoom meetings box. At the end of the presentation, we estimate approximately 350. I will then present any questions that we've had, and then offer you, the listeners, the opportunity to give us other questions to give to Dr. Coyle. We hope to have a hard stop at 4 o'clock so everyone can get back to their lives at home. With that, I'd like to turn the program over to Dr. Coyle. Dr. Coyle, the forum is yours.
Well, thank you. I appreciate all of you taking the time out to join us this afternoon, and hopefully you will learn a lot from this presentation. The agenda today, we are going to look at three things: the challenges facing the workforce, opportunities in the automotive industry, and then, of course, UTI's career pathways within this industry. The first thing I want to bring up to you is just a fact: the changing workforce that's taking place now. Up until recently, we have had a very much a agriculture, manufacturing-based workforce. Today, as you can see in the chart, almost 80% is service-oriented. You can attest to that yourself with, if you own a home, if you own a car, if you own a washing machine, I don't care what it is, trying to get people to help you. The service field is definitely here, but it is definitely understaffed. There was a survey done in 2016, 150,000 students in grades 6 through 12. They were asked a simple question: would you be interested in a skilled trade career? And only 3% said that they would. However, when those same students were asked, would you be interested in a STEM career, 45% said that they would be interested. And there lies the disconnect. We all know what STEM is: science, technology, engineering, and math. But in the case of these students, they don't understand really what STEM is and how STEM is applied in different types of careers. I would submit further that educators are having that same struggle. I am all over the country, and I talk to educators in all states. And I think there's a disconnect there, which is being passed right on down to our students. And we need to do a better job of making sure our students understand that STEM careers are very widespread and can also entail the skilled trades fields. The problem we have right now is that only about 20% of the jobs in the country right now require a bachelor's degree. And the other problem we have is that we have almost 50% of our college graduates right now are underemployed. Now, I did not say unemployed, underemployed, and meaning that they have a degree and they're not using it right now. And what does that do? That creates a very sad individual that put a lot of time and effort and money into what they want to do, only to have to settle for something else. We definitely have a, one of the things that we do, that I do in my presentation across the country, is I talk about the new SMART. And to kind of put that in perspective, the old SMART was, hey, we're going to get into a good college. We're going to find that good school first. Then we're going to worry about what it is we're going to major in, or what we're going to do. And then when we get everything, then we're going to run out the door and go, here we are, world. Who's going to hire me? That's the old SMART. The old SMART will not work today. The new SMART is, the first thing we want to do is find what that passion is, what the person really wants to do, and make sure that they've done their research, that we as educators have prepared them for the workforce. Then we're going to look for, what will get me to my passion. What major, what certificate, what diploma is going to get me there? And then we're going to pick a school that's going to make all this happen. That is the difference between the old SMART and the new SMART. In other words, we're just turning things completely backwards. And that's what we have to do today in order for students to get into good career fields. The rule of 127, I'm amazed at the number of educators that have never even heard of this, but the rule of 127, if you total 1, 2, and 7 together, you get 10. For every 10 careers that are out there today, I mean right now, only 1 requires an advanced degree, which means a master's degree or higher. Only 2 require a bachelor's degree. Yet 7 only require a competency-based credential. That's pretty startling when you think about the statistics I read earlier. You know, we're putting students into college at the rate of about 65% right now. But you can see we're doing just exactly the opposite of what the workforce is dictating that we should be doing. You know, the skilled trades, a STEM career is, I mean, that's what we're striving for right now. And what we have to let students know is that a STEM career could involve a lot of different types of careers, not just becoming an engineer, not just becoming a rocket scientist, you know, but also to work on cars, you know, and that's why we have to overcome this disconnect of letting students know that STEM careers can be in the skilled trades as well. The post-secondary education does not mean university for all. I don't even like to use the word college anymore because I think it pigeonholes kids somewhat. I would rather say post-secondary education because that opens up all types of things, whether they want to go into cosmetology, whether they want to go into auto or diesel training, whether they want to become an electrician or a plumber, whatever the case may be. And competency-based credentials are what employers are looking for right now. When you take your car in to get it worked on, you're not expecting to see a picture frame on the wall with, you know, master's degree from so-and-so university. You're expecting to see ASE certifications. You're expecting to see master technicians. That is the difference. The second agenda, portion of the agenda, is opportunities in the automotive industry. And it's pretty mind-boggling when you think about cars today. You know, today's automobiles have to have up to 100 million lines of code. It's crazy. You know, they're rolling computers, literally. You know, the grease monkey shade tree mechanic days are over. We need technicians. We don't even call them mechanics anymore. They're technicians. If you're driving a 2017 or newer car right now, your car is wired for autonomous driving. That means, it doesn't mean it will, so don't take your hands off the steering wheel just yet, but there's wired for that. I recently had the pleasure of driving a Honda Pilot with Honda Sense. And that car, I put it on cruise control at 65 miles per hour, took my hands off the wheel, took my foot off the gas, and I went right down the interstate with no problems whatsoever. If the car in front of me slowed down, I slowed down. If the car in front of me sped up, I sped up. When the car in front of me stopped, I stopped. It's pretty amazing to see what's happening right now. This is not science fiction. This is the real world. The problem we have is who's going to work on these cars. You know, right now there's 1.2 billion vehicles on the road worldwide and 260 million just here in the United States. Who is going to work on these vehicles? You know, right now, you know, if you look around your towns, you don't see too many mom and pop shops anymore. You're seeing the dealerships. They're having to do this, but the dealerships need technicians badly. We predict that, or actually the Department of Labor predicts that by 2026, we're going to need 1.2 million technicians. By 2026, that's only a little over 7 years away. You know, that's not very far. And we have to fill this need, and we have to start now. We're behind, and we've got to get caught up. Finally, we'll take a look at Universal Technical Institute's career pathways. UTI, we're the leading provider of technician training in the United States. We have over 200,000 graduates in our 53-year history. We started in 1965, and we have 8 programs across 11 major metros. We have established relationships with almost 4,000 employers, and those trip relationships are very important in training technicians. What we feel like at UTI is that rather than give students money on the front end, we would rather help them on the back end when they get finished. We want to give them a carrot, a goal to go for. I mean, it's been proven that if you give students a full ride scholarship or give students all these scholarships, a lot of times they will not use them, or heaven forbid, they won't even apply for scholarships. But if you give them an incentive at the end, which is what trip employers do, we have employers that are doing packages of $25,000 They don't write them a check when they finish, but they spread it out while they're working there to pay off their student loans, to pay for tools, to pay for relocation, whatever they want to use that money for. But technicians are needed badly, so these trip relationships are becoming vital to UTI and to the industry. And we say we place 4 out of 5 of our graduates upon graduation, and that is a very conservative estimate. We say that because that's kind of our disclaimer. But we that we do have many programs where the placement percentage is even higher than that. What we want students to do is find their passion. Whether it's auto, diesel, collision, motorcycle, marine, NASCAR, CNC, welding, whatever the case may be, we want to find their passion. But we help them to explore that too. That's why you can't just come to UTI. You have to be invited. You go through a personal interview with the student and the parents where we ask the hard questions. We're going to ask questions that the employers are going to ask. What was your attendance like in school? What's your driving record? Are you willing to cut your hair? I mean, just things like that because the employers are going to ask those very things. So we have to ask those questions ourselves, and at the same time exploring what their passion is, so we get them into the proper program. These are our locations across the country, and as it was mentioned earlier, we have our brand new campus in Bloomfield, New Jersey. We also have our campus in Exton, Pennsylvania. The Bloomfield campus just opened in August and is off to a great start, trying to service that area in the northern New Jersey and the New York area. And of course, our campus in Exton, Pennsylvania does very well and really taking care of southern New Jersey and of course Pennsylvania as well. One of the things that we're most proud of is our alliances with our manufacturers. We have over 30 alliances with manufacturers. You can see them listed right there. Companies like Ford and GM and Toyota, these companies. In fact, I was just at FFA National Convention last week, and Ford Motor Company was in the booth with us. These partners, when we prepare our students, we're not preparing our students for Jiffy Lube. We want our students to go to work for these companies right here because they're established and they pay well and they offer great benefits and great careers for our students. Our graduate success stories, this is something that we talk about continually. We look for these all the time. Once again, I was in Indianapolis at FFA, and I had several people come up to my booth. They couldn't wait to tell me about how their son or daughter was doing. There was a vendor there that's there every year, and each year he comes to find me and thanks me for, like I did it myself for him, but that how well his son's doing. His son works for Acura right now and is making great money. And he's just so excited. You can hear the passion in his voice when he talks about it. And we get these success stories all the time, and you can view those on our website, uti.edu. One of the final things I wanted to talk to you about was the college scorecard. The college scorecard is something that I've been talking about a lot this year as I go across the country speaking at counselor conferences and conventions. And I'm amazed at the number of counselors that aren't even aware of the college scorecard. I'm hoping you are, but if you're not, it's the place to access it is collegescorecard.ed.gov. It's listed there at the bottom. But what it does, it gives you an opportunity to compare schools. I challenge you to do this. I'll do this at conferences where we actually do an exercise with them, and you can't believe the discussions that we have because they find out, wow, I've been sending my students to this local school and they have a graduation rate of 8%, whatever the case may be. You can see here, and the beauty of this is you can actually do a comparison like we've done here for you. Like if you look at, we're not picking on any school in particular, we're just picked out a 2-year school, a college or university, and then compared it to us. And as you can see, like in the comparison of Darton State College with George C. Wallace and UTI, you can see it's pretty startling, the differences between those. Not all schools are performing badly. We're not saying that at all. But use the college scorecard. Make that a tool in your toolbox that you can help advise your students. And the best part about this is you can use it for parents because parents are tough. I know that. As a former educator, I know what that's like because the first thing the parent's going to say, I want my student to go to UCLA or to Harvard or whatever, but what we have to do is go back to the new SMART. What does your son or daughter really want to do? And then let's take a look at these schools to see how well they're performing. in comparing UTI versus colleges, you can see we rank very well with doctoral universities, liberal art colleges, and two-year public colleges, or community colleges as we call them. We're very proud of how we perform. And what you need to understand is the length of our program is 10 to 17 months, as compared to a doctoral university where you're looking at anywhere from 6 to 8 years. To finish a program like that, and then the liberal arts colleges, the two-year public colleges, where you're going to spend a lot more time than 10 to 17 months. Also, when you compare us to liberal arts schools, we rank in the top 10 when you put it in that perspective, and we are a lot cheaper than those schools that are above us, Washington Lee, Harvey Mudd, just to name a couple that are very expensive schools out there. You know, UTI is eager to help your students with financial aid. We are Title IV funded, so we do accept the FAFSA for those who qualify for financial aid. We have over $15 million in scholarships available to students. We do housing grants, institutional grants to help students to get to school and to help them to get established with their housing. We're going to help them get a part-time job while they're at school, but they have to have a way to start, and so we're stepping up and trying to help with that part of it. And then the trip partnerships that I mentioned earlier are becoming huge, and we're adding those. I mean, literally daily, we're adding to that number because once again, employers need technicians so bad. And then third-party programs that can help cover emergency services we offer to students, you know, because life happens, and so we're trying to be there to help them. You know, you all are the catalyst out there. We know that, you know, you're the ones that are in contact with your students, and, you know, and you're doing a phenomenal job. We just want to partner with you. That's all we're asking. I love to use the word partner because that's exactly what we do. We offer workshops in the high schools. If you don't have a UTI representative coming in, please contact the campus there in Bloomfield or in Exton, and we will get a rep that will contact you to help come out there. Or if you can't, you'll have my contact information later. You can contact me. We do a workshop where it's not a UTI infomercial. It's about them. It's about their careers. We do a career assessment based off of John Holland, where they assess themselves, and we talk about all their options. We don't just talk about UTI. We talk about the military. We talk about universities and colleges and community colleges. We want to help them explore all of their options, and we're just there to try to support you and what you do on a daily basis. You can follow us online. We're out there. I've got my own Instagram account. You can follow me if you'd like and see my travels across the country. But we're very much an interactive type of school, and we would love to hear from you. And then my contact information is right there. And my phone number and my email address, scoyle@uti.edu. And my phone number, I don't put my phone number on there without you wanting to call me. So please call me. So anyway, that concludes my part.
Hey, thank you, Dr. Coyle. This is the phase of the program where you get to go in and ask any questions that you may have of Dr. Coyle. We have about 5 minutes left over because we're going to try to honor your time and do a hard close at 4 o'clock East Coast. Dr. Coyle, this is our second session today that we had. And in the first session, we had a caller from Pennsylvania that actually asked a little bit more detailed information on your comparison chart that you had up there. I thought it would be worth repeating on this particular session. Specifically, if you remember, I don't know if you do, but if you do, if you could compare in cost and in length of program to community colleges, because that seems to be where a number of our students that might be looking at UTI, they're also possibly looking at an alternative over there. And we thought maybe you could shed some light on that for us, please.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. Community college is going to be cheaper than we are. We're not ashamed of that. If you come to one of our campuses, you will see why. But I think you have to keep in mind a couple of things. First of all is the fact that at UTI, they're going to get manufacturer-specific training. We have alliances with over 30 manufacturers, as I mentioned earlier, and most community colleges don't have any, or maybe they might have one or two maybe. But we're going to have a wide variety. We're also going to have, more extensive training. The number of hours that you're going to spend in our program as opposed to in the community college is going to be quite different. But I think the biggest one is the fact that you're done in 10 to 17 months. We get you out the door and into a career, and we work very hard at that. We just had a career fair in Dallas, Texas at our DFW campus just a week ago. They had 102 employers right there on our campus interviewing students in the hallway. You won't see that at too many schools. And so the fact that while you're still finishing your education at the community college or at the university, you're done at UTI and you're out working. And so instead of spending money, you're making money.
Thank you. We've got a couple questions, a couple the same. We got Megan and Dean both asked basically the same question, Dr. Coyle, and that is they would like to know if they could get access to getting a copy or using your presentation at the school. It does get to another issue, which is whether or not you have a parent pack or something you could, in the way the materials, electronic version that might be of assistance to. So specifically, Megan and Dean asked, how do we get a hold of your materials, and can we use your materials moving forward?
Absolutely. Nothing I have is copyrighted anyway. Whenever I give other conferences, I mean, I was at the Pennsylvania School Counselor Conference last year. I had 110 in my session, and I provided them all with a PDF version of what I have. I'd be happy to do that. If you will email me, you've got my email address there. If you email me specifically, I can send those out to you. We want the word spread. Also, I would submit to you that I am always available for professional development. If you ever have something within your school district where you would like a presentation, the best part about it is it's not going to cost you a penny. UTI pays for all of my expenses and meals and everything. You're not out a penny, so I'd be glad to do that for you as well.
Hey, Dean asked a follow-up question. He'd like to know if, I guess I raised an issue, whether or not you have a parent pack or a parent kit that you could, UTI can make available for him. He has an open house coming up in his high school. We'd like to have it available at that point.
Absolutely. I can do that. If what might be faster and easier is if I could find out who the rep is for his particular school district. We could get one to you that way. But yes, we can absolutely get a packet to you with that has all of our materials. Our materials are also there on our website, but it might be easier if we send something to you. So once again, I can either arrange to have that supplied to you either through the rep that's in that area. One way or another, we can get the information to you that you need for your open house.
Then the final question, I just why don't you restate, if you don't mind, Dr. Coyle, the upcoming open houses that you've got in case any of these folks want to either look at contacting the school to attend and or possibly send a school and a parent over that school.
Yes, we have open houses at both campuses on the same day, New Jersey and Exton. They're on Saturday, November 17th from 9 to 11, but we may run over on that a little bit depending upon how many. I mean, usually open houses, we will have, a couple hundred people there at least. So there's a lot of people there. So sometimes we run a little bit longer. As far as if you would like to be involved in that, all we'd ask for you to do is just contact the campus. The two supervisors of admission support for New Jersey, it's Kenya Roman -Spoon is her name. And then at Exton, it's Andy Houseworth. That's a female, Andy Houseworth. And you could contact them and let them know that you'd like to come, and we'd love to have you.
Just finally, we've already got back from the folks. Tell me something real quick, Dr. Coyle. Where would schools in Delaware? Which campus would they be? The Southern New Jersey campus? Is that where they would go?
I think so. I think most of those students have they have gone to the Exton campus. But I mean, they would also be able to go to the Bloomfield. They would have the option of which direction they would want to go, what would fit their needs, or if they have family in one of those areas or the other. We don't make you go to a certain campus. We just find out what you're looking for. But yeah, probably for ease, the Exton campus would probably be the easiest.
Okay, I promised. Thank you, Dr. Coy. You're doing a great job as usual. Thank you for the morning session also. I'm going to summarize very quickly, and then we can close. We're going to compile all these questions that we have and the presentation, and we'll be sending it out to each and every one of you in an email. In addition, for those of you that requested the presentation to be sent to your email, we will make arrangements and have that done for you. The recorded session is actually going to be sent out to you and to the other group of registrants who were not able to attend. It's also going to be located on our website, which again I said earlier is www.imagine-america.org. I hope that you're getting our materials from the foundation. We're really concentrating heavily into the automotive careers, but more importantly, improving our content that we're sending out to guidance counselors. Before I close, I would really be remiss if I didn't thank each and every one of the counselors that took the time out of their very busy schedules to come and participate in today's session, because now we're the only one, as I said earlier, standing between you and probably going home. I'd also like to thank Dr. Coyle. He's been a tireless supporter of career education and through UTI and other venues, and did a great job on both sessions today. I would encourage any of you that are on the call to take him up on it. He's very approachable, easy to talk to, just the way you heard him on this call. And then finally, I'd like to thank Lee Doubleday for all the hard work he did on our side to get this thing pulled together. With that, I'm gonna close the session and say goodbye, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you very much.